Oh, we're live. Okay. Hello, welcome to another Touchline Fracas podcast. I'm your host, Lewis. I'm joined today by Anton. How you doing?
All right, guys.
We've got Kane.
What's good?
And we've got Dan. Dan, hey, welcome.
What's up?
When was the last time you were on a pod, Dan?
It was before the studio, so it must be like a year now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bloody hell, long time, man. It's
Yeah.
good to have you back on, bro.
Cool. I've had offers from other podcasts as well, man.
Have you?
Yeah,
But you
man, I'm
turned it
superstar. Yeah, obviously, like after negotiation, I turned it down. They didn't
down?
offer.
Yeah, they don't offer as much money as we do.
Yeah.
Just before we start, guys, everyone who's listening, please do get involved with the hashtag Touchline Fracas. Like, if you disagree with anything we say, if you agree with anything we say, just it's your way to get involved, because we want to be really inclusive. So it's not just about listening. Get involved, have your say on anything we've said on the podcast. We like interacting with you guys. So let me just get that out of the way. Guys, what do you want to start with today? Should we start with the big game, Arsenal-Chelsea?
It's got to be, man.
Let's do it.
All right, Dan, since you've not been on a pod for a while.
That's why I shouldn't go first.
No, I think that's exactly what.
All right, cool. Punishment.
What did you think of Chelsea's display? Number one. And number two, is there some sort of like hoodoo Wenger has? Has Wenger finally found out a way to tactically outdo someone after 20 years?
What? Like Wenger versus Conte. So the first question is, how do I feel about the game?
Yeah.
Right? So like, it's weird because if Chelsea were in a situation where we were winning all of our games and like a draw would feel like a loss, then I'd be upset. But I feel like we're at a point now where a draw against Arsenal is a good point. I don't think we're in a spot where like we can just expect to roll over teams. So it's weird because after the game I felt like it was cool, but then when Man United won 4-0 against Everton, then that just pissed me off. So it made me like hate the result even more, just because obviously City and United, there's a little bit of a gap opening. Like we want to stay in touch. In terms of like Wenger and Conte, I think do you know what? What kind of pissed? Like, I don't know if it pissed me off, but Sanchez didn't start as well. Mm-hmm. So I kind of wanted, if Arsenal was going to beat us, like kind of like last season, I wanted Arsenal to beat us, like so Cahill can get dropped, because Conte only seems to like respond when we like get humiliated. And it was last season. This time last season, Ozil and Sanchez ripped us apart, and that was one of the reasons why we made the switch. So kind of like if we were to lose or if it was to drop point, I wanted it to be like this game, because I think Ozil and Sanchez would have ripped us apart. But Wenger didn't start Sanchez. I think that you could beat us this game. I honestly think so. Chelsea started well, but for the most of the game, like Arsenal had a lot of the big chances. You was actually shooting against goals. So I don't know. Conte, like every single time we played Arsenal, I can't remember. Have we beat you? We have beat you once, right?
Yeah, you beat us at the Bridge last year.
When Hazard had Coquelin looking like
yeah. But most games, like you've been the better team. There's a Charity Shield, and I think in the league as well. So yeah, maybe Conte. Like that's not. I'm still like I ride for managers when I can kind of believe in them. But the thing
is, what's Conte's record like against the big teams?
What, just in general?
Yeah, he beat City both times, didn't he? He did the double over City.
It's weird.
What about Spurs?
Spurs, so we lost the game and we won one game last season. So out of 2 games, we lost one, we won one. This season, again, we beat Spurs. So it's Marmite. Sometimes we win, sometimes we lose. So it's really unpredictable, which is why, if you was to see earlier today, me and Meads, we couldn't predict what was going to happen.
Yeah. Well, Ant and Kane, since you're on the pod, like you're both Arsenal fans.
Just about.
Yeah, it's heavily Arsenal back this week. Why can't Arsenal play like this every single big away game? Firstly, and well, yeah, actually, address that point first. Like the performance itself. What was different from this performance to Anfield 2 weeks ago?
I only watched like the last half hour of the game. I listened to the rest on the radio because I was driving. But did Chelsea play well today? Did Chelsea put pressure on Arsenal? Because Arsenal, from what I see, if you attack Arsenal and you put Arsenal under pressure, you'll get joy out of Arsenal. So for me, I think maybe Chelsea, because of Conte's balanced philosophy, we'll call it. Maybe he doesn't put enough pressure on Arsenal, and I think the other teams, when they do play Arsenal, they go for the throat straight away.
When you say did we attack you, are you talking about in terms of our attacking players? Were they running in behind? Were they taking on players
was there sustained levels of attacking play from Chelsea? Because Chelsea are a team that Chelsea like to play on the break a bit, don't they?
I would say in the first 15 to 20 minutes of the first half, there definitely was.
Yeah. When I tuned in, I thought, oh God, it's going to be one of those days again.
But you know what? At that point, that 15, 20 minutes you're talking about, we enjoyed possession. In terms of actually what Ant's talking about, in terms of attacking, that is like, I mean,
but like the thing is, when people say, okay, is that attacking or is that just possession? Well, the function of possessing the ball is to attack.
I know, but what I'm saying is what Ant's saying. And when you're saying, did we attack you? Are you saying, did we get in behind? Do we have a lot of shots on goal? Is that what you're saying?
By attacking intent, right? I mean, were Chelsea looking to carve out opportunities at a high tempo?
I felt like Chelsea had a lot of touches in and around Arsenal's box, and I felt like Arsenal looked quite shaky. There was a few opportunities where Chelsea had good crossing opportunities.
Pedro had an opportunity.
Yeah, Pedro had a good opportunity. And I just felt like, especially in the first 15, 20 minutes, I just felt like turning off. I was thinking, oh God, we're going to concede early.
Yeah, we look good.
Yeah, the earlier periods of the first half, I would say they came out in the second half of the first 15 minutes with a similar intent, not as well, because they took off Pedro for Bakayoko, pushed Fabregas up, because I think they found that Iwobi's finding a lot of space, but they still actually kept the ball pretty well in the first 10, 15 minutes of the second half. I mean, were they creating a lot of danger? No, they wasn't. You could put that towards Chelsea, you could put that towards Arsenal defending pretty well, which I thought.
What are you talking about? Are you talking about in the first half or the second half?
No, I'll say in the early periods of both halves.
Oh, okay, cool.
Chelsea the dominant side, but they still weren't able to create much for a couple of reasons.
With Arsenal are a team of cowards. Yeah, let's call a spade a spade. If Arsenal go a goal down, every single one of them bottle
heads drop.
Yeah, they're pathetic. Yeah, so. Maybe if and the longer with Arsenal, they get a bit lucky. A goal doesn't go in, so they can hang out. So I don't know. Like I've got such little faith in Arsenal right now that I'm more inclined to believe that was the result of a poor Chelsea performance rather than a good Arsenal performance.
Yeah, but it's difficult to say that without seeing the whole game. I mean, the way I look at it.
I'm assuming based on my knowledge of Chelsea and my knowledge of Arsenal. I only saw like 25 minutes.
What I would say the difference between the first half and the second half in terms of Chelsea's performance is that they just looked a lot more solid because they found, again, I think we found a lot of holes in their midfield. So Bakayoko gave them more protection in that regard. But with that, they had less energy and less penetration in terms of movement because obviously Pedro is a very different kind of threat than a Fabregas kind of threat.
But you know what? It felt like we were on the ropes. Second half, towards the end, it kind of felt like we were on the ropes.
Yeah, definitely. Because I feel like...
So first half towards the end.
Yeah, first half. I didn't want the first half to end. I felt like
we were on the ropes.
But what I will say though is that whilst you can say you felt like you were on the ropes, I'm pretty sure Arsenal didn't register a single shot on target.
What does that mean, Kane? What does that mean? That doesn't mean anything. I hate.
But maybe not on target, but you were taking shots.
On target, off target, don't mean anything to me because you can miss a one, or you can miss a one-on-one. It could go wide. It's not registered as on target. Do you know what I mean?
I remember you had
a couple of post. It's not registered as on the target.
Yeah. So I know Kolasinac, he had a shot that was kind of close, and I think there was a couple of others as well. But compare it, exactly. Yeah. So. Compared both teams, at least you were taking shots. At least you were kind of threatening the goal. I think by that time, Chelsea weren't even taking shots anymore. We were on the ropes. We couldn't keep the ball. It felt like we were soft in the middle.
Big chance.
Laka missed the chance. This is what I'm saying. So you can name 4 chances off the bat. And we called it in the chat as well, me and Meads. We were saying Bakayoko's got to come on because we were soft in the middle. So everybody can kind of feel like, if this goes on like this, like you're saying, you didn't want the game to end because it kind of felt like Arsenal might score if this continues like this.
Yeah, definitely. I've got a question from just going on the Arsenal tactical setup. I've got a question from Miraculous Miri. He asked, does today's performance by Arsenal suggest that Wenger is ignorant in his tactical setup against the opposition rather than incapable? I think we've had this discussion.
That question was answered a long time ago.
So many years ago, right? Like we've been having this question on the pod since we started.
Break it down.
I make the argument that it was ignorance, but I
Sorry,
still
can you-
think
can you
my
break it down?
opinion changed. I think he's incapable. I think I just don't think he knows how to set up
Manage it.
a side consistently to do well against the bigger side.
So, but did this setup do well today? Is that what you're
It
saying?
did. It
Yeah.
did.
So where's the ignorance?
The ignorance is that. Well, but I guess the ignorance is when we go away to Anfield and we're.
No, but the thing is, you know what the thing is about Wenger, yeah? This is what's annoying, yeah? You see, however we played today,
Yeah.
because remember when we got that draw when we beat City 2-0?
Mm.
And then he tried to play every big game away like
The
that.
same
Like
way.
everything plays the same as City.
Yeah.
So we're going to go to Manchester United and we're going to try the same thing. But United's threats are different to Chelsea's threats.
Yeah. I feel that.
So when we get banged up by United, when we go to Old Trafford, then the question's going to be asked again, why don't Arsenal change anything in away games? And then Arsenal fans are going to point to this game. Well, we did then because we nicked the point. Like, really and truthfully, like, we talk like we're Burnley. Why are we so happy to nick a draw at Stamford Bridge? We're meant to be levels. Like,
That's the feeling that I'm getting from all Arsenal fans. Like, they're really happy. Like, they came away.
I can't get with it.
It's relativity, right? Like we've had. Isn't our record something like we haven't won a big away game
can I answer
in
that
20
question?
games or something?
Guys, can I answer
say
that
it.
question?
Say it.
Whilst I completely appreciate, is this what it is now? Should Arsenal fans be happy with nicking a point away? The reality of the situation is that teams that compete for the title, and by no means am I saying this is what we're doing this season, because I don't believe we are, but generally speaking, the teams that finish towards the higher end of the table, when they play away games or just big games in general, it's one of two things. Either they win the majority of them. A good example would be City in the 11-12 season, or they lose a very, very minimal amount. So Leicester when they won the title, Chelsea.
That's the case with. Of course, that's the case with the teams that win.
No. So let me finish. So
less than anyone else.
No, let me finish. So I think obviously we're only two big games in. We've only had Liverpool and we've only had Chelsea. So we'll see when we go away to United, City, Spurs, and obviously when they come back to the Emirates, what it's gonna look like. But I don't think it's the worst scenario if by the end of the season we've played 6 games. Well, it would be 6. Sorry, 8 games, 8 to 10 games. Obviously with the big 5 apart from us, and if we play the away games and actually nick points and then nick a few wins back over the Emirates, I actually think that's a good record to finish the season with. But we're still waiting to see.
Say that again.
You think that's going to happen?
I really don't know. I don't know because you don't know what shape Spurs is going to be, because obviously White Hart Lane is very different to how they're playing at Wembley. I think we can take Liverpool at home. I think we can take Chelsea at home. City's a team. I think they're going to whack us home and away. I think United will probably beat us home and away, if I'm being honest.
Just on your original point, though, Kane, I get what you're saying in terms of it's a good point away from home. I completely get that, and it is. Even not just for you. If it was City that came here and got a point, I can see that. But what I'm saying is the feeling isn't like you've just got a good point away from home. It's a bit higher than that. That's just what I'm feeling.
We've turned the corner.
Yeah, this is what I'm trying to say. So I understand that. I feel like it's a bit more like it feels like you came away with a big win, a scalp. I saw a tweet from, who is it? Sol Campbell saying like great result from Arsenal or something like that. So
I guess in isolation it is like
it is. It's a good.
I don't want to sound like Paul Merson, yeah, but Burnley went there and won a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
You do sound like Paul Merson.
That's exactly what Merson was saying.
It was a great impression too. But obviously we had 2 men sent off there, and we had 1 man sent off here, but the game was already done.
Yeah. I've got another question actually, because this is another talking point. Jay Basari, he asks, would it be beneficial to drop Ozil in tough away fixtures?
Oh, yes.
Wait, Anton, do you want to speak up again, please?
Oh, I've said all I'm saying.
Like, my main gripe is, right, so in these big away games before, I mentioned it in the group earlier.
You know what, Luke, before you do, it's not even the big ones, yeah? Like we was discussing today, like, you see, like, I didn't see it, but from what you lot said, Iwobi basically played in the lines rather than trying to play between the lines, yeah?
Yeah.
Which is why we had a man that could get on the ball and could make things happen, yeah?
Yeah.
If you lot remember, I can't remember if it was you. You see the goal, you see the Stoke game.
Yeah.
And when Ramsey went on that rampage and left Xhaka by himself,
Yeah.
and I was I think it was Kane I was discussing with, and I was saying the problem for me in that is that a player as intelligent as Ozil knows Ramsey's going to go walkabouts.
Fill in.
Yeah, fill in, because that's where the ball's going to be. The ball can't get to you, so you should be playing a bit deeper. And he started doing it with like 15, 20 minutes to go. Yeah. So until Ozil is going to do stuff like that, rather than just rely on players that are incapable of feeding him, like they're actually incapable. Like he's being lazy.
To be fair, like I'm not of the opinion. This is why I kind of disagree with you, Lou, just a bit. I'm not of the opinion that he literally just stays in between the lines expecting the ball on many.
No, I don't think he does either. But that's the excuse people use with him.
No. But I think this is the difference between Iwobi and any decent number 10. I think another good example of this, even though he played like a weird hybrid role, Rosicky is another one. It isn't so much the positions he takes up. It's just how quick and how sharp he is to make himself available for support. I mean, I think when we're talking about the difference between Silva and Ozil, Silva is just busy. And I don't want it to make it like a physical thing, like, he just puts in more effort. But I just think he doesn't wait. Like, good players, good number 10s, good players between the lines. And by no means am I saying Ozil isn't one of those. But he doesn't seem as busy.
More intense. He has more tenacity about him.
Ozil's an old school luxury 10. Like, I love him. I love watching the guy play football. Yeah, he's one of the players I enjoy watching the most. Like, when he's on his game. But he is a luxury player, and sometimes you end up carrying him. And the way football's moved now is that you can't really afford to do that.
I think one thing we noticed today, and I know you didn't see the whole game, is I felt like we defended with 11 men, and I think that helped us a lot. Like, we were winning the ball back really quickly, like especially in the middle where we could have been trounced. Really, when you look at Kante and they had Bakayoko come on in the second half, we could have actually been overrun like we were against Liverpool. But we just managed to get men behind the ball quick, and we managed to just keep nicking the ball back at key times. We never really got a sustained period of pressure from Chelsea, and I think that really helped us having Iwobi in there. And Ramsey was a lot more disciplined today. Ramsey was
good today. He was good today.
Yeah, he was really good.
But quickly, just
he was unlucky as well. He hit the post. Sorry?
Say it again.
I say it was a miracle.
Yeah.
But
I've always said with Ozil, though, in the big games, for me, I'd rather him play on the left wing and be allowed to drift in. And be allowed to drift in and be free, because he's the way we set up and where he's too easy to pick up and he's too hard to find. Especially when you've got the likes of flipping Xhaka and that, and Xhaka has one good game in 4.
But so, you're in the Ozil camp, just in general. Like, you're more biased towards Ozil. Lewis, you're in the anti-Ozil camp. I don't know, Kane.
I'm not anti.
I know you're not anti. You're more prone to be negative to him. You're more prone to be cynical to, like.
I just want to be.
Do you know that Lewis said that we'd be better off with Gylfi Sigurdsson?
I was joking around. Oh, man, I was joking around. I would never do that.
More value for money.
They're both set piece merchants. Come on, and one would be considerably cheaper than the other.
Well, both around 45.
Yeah, Ozil would be considerably cheaper than Sigurdsson.
But Kane, what camp are you in? Are you in any camp, or are you neutral?
I'm in neither camp. I'm neither.
Okay, cool. So what do you think as a neutral? In big games, what do you think that maybe you should drop Ozil? Or
I don't think we should drop him, because I think in big games you need quality, and Ozil's way too good to be on the bench during a big game. But
so what do you think?
I think what we need to do, we need to, like Ange just said, we need to put him in a system where essentially he doesn't need to work.
But this is what Lewis was saying that was good today, though. The fact that all players, there was no luxury.
Well, yeah, but that's what I'm saying. It depends, because sometimes it could work. Sometimes you can get away with playing a luxury player, but it depends on, okay, I have to play players around him that don't mind doing his work. And I don't want to give off the impression that he's just a guy that's just lazy and doesn't do anything.
No, he's not lazy.
It will give you the minimal, but I just think, I've always said, listen, just play him in a diamond. Just play him in a diamond, number 10.
Change the whole formation for Ozil. Is he good enough for that?
Yeah.
Well,
do you know what? Sometimes it's not even about being good enough. Sometimes it's like, okay, do you know what? This is our best creative player in the team. So it's not a case of him, okay, is he good enough? But it's just like, okay, how can we get the best out of him? It's the same thing with like a Per Mertesacker. Per Mertesacker isn't a top class defender. He's a very good defender, but
No.
we have to set up our defense in a way that compensates for his lacks, because his strengths are override his deficiency. So it's the same thing with Ozil.
Would you play Saka now, Kane?
Yeah, but my only doubt is I don't know what his mental space is at.
Have you done it?
Yeah.
For me, I would. There was no way I'd be playing Monreal centre back instead of Mertesacker. I would have Mertesacker, Koscielny, and Mustafi as my back three. There's no way I'd be playing Monreal.
But Monreal's done well there.
Oh no, he hasn't, man.
I disagree. I really disagree. I think he's out of all, since we've moved to this free centre back thing, he's been our best centre back.
No way. No way.
100% he has.
I wasn't watching the game. I wasn't watching the game from my Arsenal defensive perspective, but the commentator said that Monreal, in terms of the way he was playing, was leading the Arsenal team in terms of the passion today. That's what I wasn't watching, so I don't know.
All three of them were good today. Koscielny was excellent. Like, that was the best I've seen Koscielny play for a long time. Mustafi had maybe one.
Yeah, but you know what? Yeah,
moment.
I have to say this. This is what Ant was asking about our attack. I think our attack, Chelsea's attack, was kind of toothless. I was worried about it from the start. I think Morata is easy to boss.
I told you.
You
don't want to listen to me.
No, I didn't. You didn't see me argue because I'm still here watching. But I think with Morata, one thing is he's too soft. He's too easy to push off the ball. He'll go on a little run and then he'll get pushed off. And then obviously
he's a very tidy, pretty player, Morata.
Yeah, and you know what? Like we said, all of his goals and even his assists have come from headers. And the fact is, usually we're playing teams where we're encamped in their box, so a lot of balls are coming in. And even if you think about it, the people that have been assisting Morata, it's usually Aspi. It's not Moses, because Moses can't cross for shit. For some reason, Alonso isn't crossing either. So, and even like in corners, we had opportunities to like just put the ball in the box, but Cesc was doing all these little intricate bullshit corners. So we didn't even get the ball. We didn't.
About 3 short corners.
Yeah, it's like, but Morata. The good thing about Morata is his heading. That's the only good. That's the best thing so far. And so that's why we were kind of toothless. So even though your defenders probably didn't have a good day, I think as well we were kind of toothless up front.
Dan, what's your? I've got a question from I'm a Peter file.
Okay.
Whoa.
That's a Chelsea fans for you, isn't it? Why does? All right. So we've kind of answered that question already, but basically asked for thoughts on why Conte insists on playing Cahill at any given opportunity. I know Meads touches this on every episode, even when he won 5-0. But it's interesting just to hear your thoughts on this.
Meads says that he's like a token English player, innit? I think that's what it is. He's kind of like our token English captain. It's interesting because like last season before we done the switch, we were starting with Ivanovic and John Terry, and both of them were kind of making mistakes, but Conte kept on playing them. And it was until obviously Liverpool smashed us first, and then Arsenal smashed us, and then we had the switch, and both of them were dropped. So what we were hoping, because Cahill got the red card and Rudiger came in, and every single game Rudiger's played well. We've played so expansive at the back because Cahill can't pass. Like Cahill will always Luis will pass on the ball and then Cahill will just pass to him back or just launch up. He can't pass. But when Rudiger's in there, because Rudiger can also play like as a wing back, so he can pass players and he's good at passing too. So the transition out of defense has been so good. And seeing that 3 games in a row, all of the Chelsea fans were thinking, is this guy going to bring Cahill back in? And obviously when the lineup came in and the motherfucker's name was in the lineup, do you know when people say like, does this player have like some dirt on the manager or some shit like that?
You think about me
honestly, yeah, I don't know. Like I don't know if it's the captain thing, because obviously last season John Terry was our captain, but he was still benched. He was a captain from the bench. But I'm hoping. The worst thing is Cahill wasn't even that bad today, so there's nothing for Conte to look at Cahill and say, "I'm going." I mean,
Christensen will get his another game now that Luis is going to be banned, right? So,
but Cahill will still play because that's not the. The infuriating thing is because Rudiger as well, as good as he is on the ball, and in terms of passing and taking part, he's still not the best player because in terms of feints, like in terms of defending, he's easy to feint. So I think it should have it's a no-brainer. It should be Azpilicueta, David Luiz, and Christensen. That should be the 3. But no one can it's difficult to predict Conte, honestly, like his reasoning for shit. Like,
do you feel that if Christensen hadn't been out on loan for so long, do you think he'd get more opportunities? Sometimes I feel like players that have been out on loan, I feel like they're kind of like get pushed to the back of the line kind of thing.
That thing where they say like what did they say, gone but forgotten or whatever. That
Yeah.
That
The jury's kind of out on them, and they've got to do double their efforts to prove themselves. So I kind of feel like
but I would say that, but the players that stay, they don't make any headway either. So there's no right answer for like, there's no right route. Chelsea fans try to say get him on loan or let him stay. No route seems to be working. So, but what I can see with Conte and Christensen is that he's firmly placed him as a Luis backup. So in games where, because Luis is our only great passer of the ball, and Christensen's a great passer too. So when Luis doesn't play, Christensen plays. Or if there's like an injury like today or a red card, then Christensen will come into to fall on. But I don't want to get into trust minutes type of territory, but I think that Conte trusts Christensen because he's almost the first defender to come off the bench whenever we need someone.
Just in terms of going back to Arsenal for a little bit. What did you guys make of Lacazette's performance today?
Woeful. Woeful. Yeah. I need to review my initial assessment of this guy because he's been so static. I feel like any defender worth his salt would actually find him very, very easy to mark, very, very easy to read. You know, the saving grace about Lacazette so far has been, well, generally speaking, if you have a sniff at goal, you can finish.
Yeah. Except for today.
Well, except for today.
He was offside anyway, that one today, wasn't he?
Yeah, but it would have counted, no?
No, he was offside. The linesman had his flag up.
The linesman actually gave it?
Yeah, the linesman had his flag up.
Oh, I didn't know. Okay.
That's what they said on the radio. I didn't see it, but
I don't remember.
I don't remember the line going up. But either way, that's the only redeeming quality I've seen from Lacazette.
Ramsey hit the post and then Lacazette rebound, yeah?
Yeah.
No, the linesman had his flag up. The radio commentator said it.
All right, fair enough.
I still missed it, though.
Yeah, either way, you missed.
Yeah.
I mean,
you striker. You're such a striker, Anne.
Yeah, that's great.
Don't count if you're offside. Yeah, maybe shouldn't have been offside in the first place.
Maybe Ramsey should have passed it to him.
Ramsey didn't even have the ball under control. He was like
I haven't seen it. I don't know what was going on.
I don't know how he manufactured that chance. To be fair, he was like a galloping gazelle into the bloody area. Had no control over the ball. But my main concern with Lacazette today was actually when he got into the outside the box. He had a few opportunities to like lay people in. Quite simple.
Yeah, like the link-up play was dead.
It was poor execution, man. But
so it could. I don't know.
I'm hoping that it's just like an environmental thing, and he just needs to get used to players' runs and stuff like that. But this was a reservation of mine anyway. Before he came to Arsenal, I did a thread about this on Twitter. I said like I don't really think that he's going to frustrate a lot of people. He's not like a great footballer. And people get onto Giroud about certain things, and Lacazette certainly isn't going to give you the link-up play Giroud's going to give you.
Technically, Giroud is comfortably cleaner than Lacazette. Yeah. Technically, so
Lacazette's final ball is so trash.
Oh, yeah, it's poor.
Oh, allow it, guys. We didn't even have any attacking. I didn't see the game here, but look.
No, he's got 4 times.
No. Look, he is what he is, isn't it? Like, he's about
52 minutes.
He don't create nothing. What's he supposed to do?
What?
He's not fast. So what?
We're critiquing him.
Giroud can score crappy 1-0s once in a blue moon. But fun Giroud, man. Giroud, this guy that just gets rid of the ball.
I'm not saying Giroud's better. I'm saying
the physical battles.
I'm not saying Giroud's better. I'm saying that Lacazette has obvious limitations to his game. And
that's why he came to Arsenal.
Maybe so.
I just don't remember Lacazette on the ball. Like Welbeck, was Lacazette the striker?
Yeah.
So at least with Welbeck, I could there was bits where he was, getting involved and he was busy. With Lacazette, it was almost auxiliary, where I just didn't feel it was there.
Yeah, that's fair to say, to be fair.
Yeah, that is fair. I thought Welbeck had a good game.
Yeah, Welbeck was good.
It's a shame that he got a groin injury, actually, because he'll probably be out for like 4 to 6 weeks, maybe.
Good.
No, it's not good, man.
He's good. He's shit. Fuck him.
Okay.
I want these dead guys. The Hims, the Chamberlains, the Walcotts, the Holdings, they can all go to
Everyone, man.
All of them.
Fair. All right, let's leave Arsenal Chelsea alone. The other game today was United Everton. Did you guys manage to catch that?
Nope.
I didn't.
Kane?
I did.
Yeah. What did you think?
Well, yeah, Everton are shocking.
Yeah.
I think that's the easiest thing to say. Scoreline aside, they just don't look like a team. Really look like it's just a case of pieces, average to above average pieces put together. I mean,
A lot of money.
and yeah, a lot of money was put together. So it'd be interesting to see like what the strategy was, what the meetings were, what the thinking was behind the signings and what they wanted to achieve this season. But it's not a good look because it's not just the losses, the nature of the losses for the most part, you know, in Europe, in the league.
Is it not fair to say they're a team that's being put together and they need time to gel? Look, how many new signings was in that team today?
I think that's a valid point to bring up, but I just feel like even if that's the case, you should still see some clear phases of play, like the game model should still be present.
But the game was at Old Trafford, didn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if you can. Obviously, Tottenham last week, yeah, you can assess them.
And Europe as well.
To make that judgment based
They
on
lost 3-0 to Atalanta in midweek, you know.
Yeah, I know, but Europa League, the game was at about 4:50 in the afternoon.
Do you know what? Do you know what's weird about the Everton situation? Who remembers like back end of last season when they had Tom Davies, they had Barkley, they had Lookman, and they just looked like a nice young side coming together. They had, and so
Davis started today.
Yeah, but I just thought under Koeman, I was thinking, okay, because I don't know much about Koeman. I was thinking, all right, he's building a nice side. But then, like when Chelsea played them earlier, they were completely shit. Like it was almost like no one gave a shit. No one gave a shit from the manager to the players. They weren't chasing after the balls or whatever. I didn't see that because I think did they win against Man City or get a draw?
They got a draw, but Man City should have won that game.
Yeah, 10 men for us, didn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so but every single game I've seen them since, I think they played Tottenham as well. They've just been lack of ideas. And you know what, as well, another thing I think we talked about in the group chat, they just for some reason they're crying out for some pace on the wings.
Yeah,
just something like
so
always saying Mirallas or some shit.
But they've got it. They've got Mirallas. They've got Lookman.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But I think it must be a Koeman thing where he just doesn't want that for some reason.
He's a very pragmatic manager. I remember some people were saying that Arsenal should go for it.
I'm not. Judging by taste in players and stuff like that, like paying how much for Gylfi?
45 million.
Yeah.
30 million for Klassen, 25 million for Schneiderlin.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of.
They paid 20 million for that Rondon lookalike. What's his name?
Sandro. Spain. Sandro. Yeah.
No, Sandro was like 5 mil.
Oh, was he?
Yeah.
25 million for Michael Keane, 30 million for Jordan Pickford.
Yeah.
Yeah, Michael Keane looks bad.
He's terrible. He's terrible.
Oh,
he's just a right shot.
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not impressed.
I don't know. What about Man United though? Because I think we've seen this kind of game 3 or 4 times already by United this season. Like they're 1-0 up. It's still a game. You still fancy them to win it, but it's still a game. The opposition's maybe given them a few troubles here and there, but then all of a sudden, last 10 minutes, they run riot and the scoreline finishes 4-0, which is probably didn't reflect well on the game. But
well, I mean, like I said, like it's a quality thing. I think they've got a clear idea of how they want to go about games, and it's a fitness thing as well because you know if you're going to bring on some talent like Martial on and then just finish them off at the end because teams get tired. And if you're facing a team that doesn't get as tired as you do and they have the quality on top of that, then you'll get punished. You won't see that type of scoreline against teams that are superior to the likes of West Ham, Leicester. Who else have they played? Obviously Everton as well. Like that won't be a regular thing. I think as they start playing teams a little further up the league, you won't see those runaway scores. I think what is interesting though is the nature of these high score lines that you're seeing from both Manchester teams. I'm assuming we'll get onto City, but it's like, okay, they're both scoring a lot of goals, but in completely different fashions.
United are wearing teams down. And you know what? Speaking of that, yeah, I'm looking at, remember Jose's first spell at Chelsea, yeah?
The 4-0s.
Yeah, and there's a pattern. Like, I'm seeing goals in the 87th and 90th minute, the 81st and 89th minute, like to take it up to 4. Like,
if there is a pattern under Jose, and even when he came back, the first half of the season before Christmas, we start winning 4-0s and stuff. But and after, he just kind of shuts up shop, and it becomes tighter, and then more 1-0 victories. But from like today, I didn't watch the game, but the good thing about it, from my point of view anyway, is that a lot of United fans said they played trash.
I didn't think they played well. And
so you watched the game too?
Was it Rooney that missed the sitter came?
Yeah.
I didn't think they played that well. They didn't seem to create that much. But I think Pogba's a big miss for them.
Yeah.
I think, have they got City next?
I haven't checked.
Let me just check the fixtures. But it's quite strange because Man City and, like as you said, Dan, Man City and Man United, they've got identical records. So they both got 13 points, 16 goals, 2 conceded. But it seems to be like they're doing it in completely different fashion.
United have got Southampton away next in the league.
Southampton away, so yeah, you'd imagine they'll probably win that.
Yeah, it was Kane that said that, but I think
Kane, sorry, right.
Yeah, but this was the same thing last season. I know we have 4 games in, but and it was 3 games in last time around. But this is like, don't run away with it. Like, don't run away with yourselves. Like, obviously, City, United are good now, but getting towards the Christmas, like when the games come thick and fast, both teams I think will start dropping points. It's easy to kind of get caught up in this honeymoon period of like City scoring goals and shit like that. But Aguero will probably get injured, and people will face their like different kind of challenges. So it does look like Man City and United now, but we'll see.
Yeah. Does anyone have anything else to say about United? I've got a few questions, but because we haven't really got United fans,
we haven't got a United fan. But another thing that I did see is that apparently Matic was amazing again. Apparently he was the best player on the pitch.
Yeah, actually, I have got a question about that. I'll find it. Someone did ask, has Matic been one of the... Here we go. Jack of all trades. He asked, 5 games in, is Matic player of the season so far?
No. I'm not even going to dignify that question with an answer.
Why? No, it's just like...
This is why. Because it's 5 games in. And this is not just about...
But he stated that, though. He's saying, has Matic been the player of the season? I think that's a valid question. 5 games in.
It is a valid question, but this is what pisses me off. Because if Matic was still at Chelsea... Because this is obviously United fans saying it.
He's an Arsenal fan, actually.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Okay, well, that kind of...
That's why he's called Jack of all trades.
For me, the reason why the question is silly is because 5 games is nothing.
Like, but he's saying so far.
Even if you want to bring up that question, right, there's been players that have been equally as good in those 5 games. Aguero has been just as good. Kevin De Bruyne has been just as good. Mane up until got sent off the other day has been just as good. Like you could literally make that shout for about 15 players in the league.
Yeah, but he's allowed to ask the question. So obviously, if you think those players are bad, but I just think that I've seen this in terms of. I swear, if Matic was at Chelsea doing these same performances, they wouldn't be saying this shit.
It would go under the radar.
Yeah, I know. I think that.
Do you know what it is, Dan? I think Man United lacked a player like Matic so much last season.
Yeah, for real.
That the difference,
the breath of fresh air.
Yeah, it's like when Arsenal, for example, if Lacazette had maybe scored a few more goals, Arsenal would have been saying the same sort of thing about Lacazette. Do you know what I mean? Because we haven't had a striker to do those sort of things for so long. Or if we had bought like a centre back that was really commanding and we were keeping clean sheets left, right, and centre.
Yeah.
People would be saying the same sort of thing. Do you know what I mean? It's just that breath of fresh air that United fans are obviously making a big deal out of.
Yeah, I get it. They seem really happy.
Maybe rightly so. They're top of the table, right?
They are top of the table. They seem really, and I think he might be one of their best players so far because every single game he's played, apart from one, I've just seen great feedback. And they try to rub it into my face, but I don't give a shit.
How do you guys envisage United dealing with the Pogba loss? Because today, as I said, I thought they didn't look like they were creating as much as they were with Pogba in the team.
They're definitely going to struggle.
I mean, I think
they struggle. I think today might be a bit of an eye opener for Jose, and I have an opinion on Jose that rarely changes. Maybe they'll tighten things up and they'll just look to to be a bit more direct, a bit more solid, and maybe score a few less goals and win games a bit quieter. Maybe that's what they'll do to compensate for the loss of Pogba. They haven't really got a player that can replace him in their squad and do a similar job. Like Mkhitaryan looks a shadow of the guy that played for Dortmund. Mata doesn't look like the guy he used to look like. So outside of Pogba, they lack a bit of creativity. So
yeah, but I mean, to be fair,
if I was him, I would rely on Martial and Rashford.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, they've got Southampton next. They've got Palace at home, which, you know, going by what Palace are doing right now is going to be very easy. And he may miss the Liverpool game away. So, you know, they should be okay for those games minus the Liverpool one.
Wasn't he?
Lukaku celebrate his goal today?
Sorry?
Did Lukaku celebrate his goal?
Yeah.
Yeah, he got a lot of stick for it because he went a bit mad.
There was also a moment where I think he didn't score, someone else scored, and then he started shushing the Everton fans as well.
Yeah, he was getting a lot of stick. I think they were singing about him all game, like, you know, doing what football fans do. You know, and he wanted to give them some back, I guess.
Yeah, but apparently Rashford had a bad game. I know that's your boy.
Find that hard to believe.
Apparently he had a bad game, and I saw United fans tweeting he's not a winger. They don't know what he is. Maybe he's a 10, maybe he's a second striker, but they're pretty sure that he's not a winger.
I don't think he's a winger either. He's not.
So what do you think? He's a second striker.
A striker or a second striker. I think he could be better as a 9, decent as a 9.5.
He doesn't score enough goals to be a 9.
He does when he plays as a 9.
Okay, cool. We'll see that. I don't think he's got enough goals in him at this point to lead United. Obviously, Lukaku's going to play there anyway.
Yeah, I'm not putting him as a striker ahead of Lukaku. No way. But yeah. So for me, he needs to get out of United personally. If he wants to be a striker, he might be happy with his wide role. I don't know. But for me, that's not him. But obviously, him and Jose know better than I do. So who am I?
Fair enough. Okay. Let's go on to yesterday's games because, well, Saturday, I think you're going to be listening on Monday. So Saturday's games. Two Acca busters, I call them. What one do you want to start with? The Spurs one or the Liverpool game?
Well, if you put Liverpool in your accumulator in those games, then you're an idiot because they draw that game every single month. We all know that as well.
They're like 1.1 to win, and you put them to win, and like everyone else wins.
That is a very typical Liverpool result.
Yeah, and they had Coutinho back for this as well. I mean, I've got loads and loads of questions about Klopp, so maybe we can go through those questions. Let me find one second. Where are we? Okay. I got one from Esquire Flexing. He says Jurgen Klopp's win record at Liverpool is worse than David Moyes at Manchester United. What? No way.
That's crazy.
David Moyes took over the champions. Jurgen Klopp took over the team that just finished seventh.
But Moyes is...
And Klopp took over halfway through a season as well. Let's not forget. So I really like those statistic things.
And don't forget, Moyes didn't do that bad because when LVG came, LVG's record was worse than Moyes as well at United.
Wow. I mean, Esquire Flexen, he asked, is Klopp's employment justified? I mean, this...
No, it's a good question because we've all seen the stats comparing it to Rodgers, like the first 100 games or whatever, and I think Rodgers is doing better. So, like, the question is it just because he's exotic, because he's German, and he's acting like a clown and shit like that? But honestly, like, I don't know. Because I'm a big fan of Rodgers, I don't think Liverpool there hasn't been a great change in status from when they was under Rodgers, when they were competing, like when they came second to now. I don't know. Because I don't watch the German league, Klopp came with a big name. I know United fans were saying they wanted him. Arsenal fans were saying they wanted him.
Yeah,
I still do.
I still do, because I can see that he's taken Liverpool. It might not look it in terms of results, but I still feel like Liverpool are a better team now that Klopp has come in. And
I don't know, man. I just don't understand the Firmino thing.
What about it?
So, like, when they play with, they don't, because Firmino for me is not a striker. He's a second striker. So I think this summer, if he doesn't believe Sturridge can last the whole season, he can't play.
They haven't got a striker though.
Who?
Liverpool.
Yeah, but they don't need a proper striker because the way they play with three.
I don't like. Well, even if you play with three attackers, they've all got to be able to bang goals. I think we're talking about City and how they're doing good. Jesus and Aguero, they're complete attackers who can run with the ball, who can dribble the ball, and they bang goals.
Yeah, but like
Firmino's got a good goal scoring record, no?
Liverpool are not Manchester City. Liverpool can't attract that quality of talent.
Yeah,
So
but at the same time, you don't have to compete because all the big teams just compete with those bait strikers that are scoring loads of goals. But I think even forget about that. I just think Firmino is a second striker. I don't ever think you can see Firmino compete with Kane for the Golden Boot.
No.
Exactly. This is what I'm trying to say.
But what I'm saying is that he doesn't have to be a Kane. He doesn't have to be that type of player if goals are coming from other areas of the pitch. One of the reasons. Let me finish. One of the reasons why they bought Salah, obviously they got Mane, is because those are guys that have demonstrated that can score goals at a top level.
I get that.
Right. So yes, if they could get a player that could score goals like Kane, and Firmino isn't that player, I understand it. But if you have three goal threats that are all capable of getting...
I understand that. My thing is I understand that. But what I'm trying to say is the fact that you have someone that's a second striker up front, that limits it. Mm-hmm. So for me, I would put Firmino because Firmino can score goals. So I would have Firmino as a wide player. And this summer, I would have tried to get someone that could score goals as a front because I think that having your main striker as someone that is more of a second striker that will probably get 15 goals and be happy, that's going to limit them. That's my opinion on it.
Let me say that then. All right, so let's say I attempt to do that, but I can't get that talent, whether it be because they're not available, or the talent isn't there, I can't afford them, or the agent's being too much of a prick, so on and so on. I'm not saying that there's no strikers capable of getting 3 goals in Europe. They very well could be. And for all we know, Liverpool could have tried.
But they didn't try though. We know who they...
what I'm saying.
No. Hold on. We don't know 100% any...
We do know. Okay. All they're trying to publicize, so we do know.
Yeah, I think...
No, hold on. How many players were Liverpool linked with this season?
Kane, what Dan's saying is simple. There's no real rebuttal because what he's saying is, boom, he's saying this. Look, Liverpool's main targets was clear. There was Keita, Van Dijk, Chamberlain and Salah. Yeah, that's the players we know they was going for. Yeah, and they got what 2 or 4 and 1 to come after. Yeah. Now, what Dan is saying is the Salah transfer. Salah's going to get you the same amount of goals that a Firmino would get you. If you have that goals out wide and you target a striker, that's not to definitely say they would get one, but if their intention is to get someone that's going to get them striker numbers, and you've already got that amount of goals, you're doubling your goals. Like there's I don't know that can be disputed. I don't get it.
Hold on. Okay, so there is a rebuttal because there isn't an absolute with anything because we don't know 100% what Liverpool are trying to do. Even if they've been reported to have been linked to 4 players, generally speaking, teams are usually targeting triple that or quadruple that, right?
Fair enough. We don't have to go into this, but if they were targeting, that's cool. But if Klopp went into the season with the idea that Firmino will be his main striker, then I think that's the wrong decision.
Which he did because he made it clear. Because he said he's not selling Sturridge. Had no intention of selling Origi at the start, and he said that Firmino was his guy. He said that from the start.
I can't speak. I'm not going to be here speaking for Klopp, but what I will say is, just because he says, okay, Firmino's going to be my number 1 striker, that doesn't necessarily mean he's expecting not like Kane type, 2 and 3 type goal records from him.
But no one said that he is. That's not what.
That's not what I said.
What he said is they would be better served having a number 9 type goal record through the middle because they've got the secondary type striker records from their wide players. That's all he said.
Okay, and what I am saying, because I don't think you guys are listening to me, is that maybe he feels those front 3 will get him the goals from his attacking line overall that he wants, as opposed to having just 2 guys.
Yeah.
But the thing is, Firmino is not going to be that guy, and we know that.
This is what we're saying. So this is why I think that to increase Liverpool can become a better team if they can find that guy. That's what I think, and I don't think that during the summer we saw Liverpool trying to attempt to get that guy. This is what I think.
Well, let's so is that's obviously an indictment on Klopp, right? Is that what you're saying, Dan?
Yes.
Yeah, so this is what I think.
Ife has joined us. Hello, Ife.
What's going on?
What's up, bro?
What's going on?
Yeah, we're just discussing
Liverpool, right?
Liverpool, yeah, and their 1 millionth draw against the bottom side of the table team.
Yeah, standard Liverpool inadequacies, basically.
Mm. Yeah.
Hey, put the gloves on, bro.
So I mean, I didn't see the Liverpool game. I don't know if anyone did. I heard they created a hatful
Lewis,
of
can I just
chances.
say that Burnley are currently above Arsenal, yeah? So
Sorry?
Wow.
Burnley are above Arsenal.
Well, to be fair, they beat us, so I think that's probably a helping hand from.
I might be a bit harsh on.
You was a bit harsh on Burnley still. They're seven.
Yeah, but you would expect Liverpool to beat Burnley.
I didn't expect anything of the kind. 100% honest. I knew what the result
Well, I mean,
was.
the fact that you don't expect Liverpool with their quality to beat Burnley is an indictment on Klopp.
Yeah. But that's not even Klopp, because they was having that result before Klopp came.
Mm.
That's Liverpool. I wouldn't even say it's Klopp, because those draws were happening under Dalglish, Hodgson, my man in between, Rodgers. I don't know if it's Klopp. Liverpool have been doing this. They've been drawing that game at Anfield with an inferior team for time.
So is it because they don't have that striker then?
Well, no, they had that striker when it was happening. They had Suarez and that. What's that guy that Suarez?
Yeah, but I think under Suarez they were winning more of these games.
Nah, no. They had that one season, but generally speaking, this is just Liverpool.
They're a cowardly team.
They just can't defend. They just don't know how to defend.
That's a major problem for them. And do you know what? It's weird though, because obviously I'm the type of person I want to see youth come in, but it does seem like with Alexander-Arnold, I don't know if he's a good defensively. He seems decent going forward, but it does seem like he seems to chuck mad people into defense, like that I've never heard of. I know it's like the Merson type of thing to say, but
Klopp, you know what the funny thing about Klopp is as well? Klopp was a defender, but he seems to have no interest.
Yeah.
At all. It's baffling.
I think because he was shit, he's kind of like overcompensating.
You know what? I don't know what I'd say about that, because I think he helped coach some pretty prominent defenders in Piszczek, Schmelzer.
Are they good defenders?
Subotic, quality, Hummels as well.
Yeah, like those are good defenders.
They look good. They look good in the Bundesliga. But do you know what's kind of funny?
They look good in Europe when they get into Champions League.
I'm messing around. I'm listening. But do you know, Lovren, he gets a lot of stick. And I think I saw like a clip on Twitter as well of him just making loads of mistakes. And then you had Sacco there, who does also, he kind of looked faulty, but he actually was solid. Like he'd never actually make the mistake. He might stumble, but then he'll recover. But Sacco's been just kind of left out and discarded. Even though he did quite well.
He joined Palace.
He's the best defender in their team.
Can I make a point about Sacco and not just Sacco, Lovren and Liverpool defenders in general? Very, very difficult. Yeah, shout out to Albanese because he made this point. It's very, very difficult for defenders to go into Liverpool to actually defend when their whole entire system is their midfield go, their attack go, and they leave the defense very, very exposed. So once the ball does turn over, the team's right at the defense, and that level of pressure is very difficult to cope with.
But when
you're already a relatively limited defender generally. So,
and Kane, sorry, just to go back, you can talk about good defenders and that, but Klopp's teams have never defended well. So
very true.
That's what I was going to ask.
Wait. Their record of conceding goals is poor. I'm looking at his Dortmund. Won leagues and got to Champions League finals. They're conceding 45 goals in a 34-game season in the league.
We could talk about the minute. I didn't say that the defense as a whole team was good. I was saying individually.
We said he doesn't care about defending. We went to say, he coached some very good defenders. Those very good defenders don't have good defensive records. So if you don't have a good defensive record, I probably don't want to hear that you're a very good defender. It can't be served as a rebuttal today. He doesn't care about defense. Tell me that he had good defenders when these good defenders clearly haven't been.
No. You can't apply that principle to whole team.
Of course you can.
No, you can.
Wait, hold on. Number one, wait.
You can because
are we talking?
But we consider Koscielny a very good defender, and he
exactly.
And the funniest thing is,
stop with all that talk.
Because first of all, Ant said Klopp doesn't care about defending. Yeah. And that was a statement that was made. So you referencing that he's coached?
No. We were talking about individuals.
Yes, that's what I said though.
Guys,
wait, stop. You guys were talking about individuals. I'm talking about the conversation as a group. We're talking about individuals.
Yeah.
And then I said, no, he's coached some good individuals that we didn't hear of prior to that. That was a conversation.
My statement was...
Oh, no, that wasn't Ant. That wasn't Ant.
Thank you. I didn't say that was Ant. I'm talking about the conversation. I never accused Ant of saying, this about...
But my statement was he doesn't care about defending. That's what I said.
And I was not disputing your statement.
Right. So good defenders or not, they don't defend well, do they?
His teams.
No, I wouldn't say they would. No.
Cool.
You're right.
Yeah.
We got it ironed out finally, man.
Listen, I've got some more questions about Klopp. Kaya _ he asked, is Klopp better than Benitez?
Ooh.
What now?
Was it Benitez in his pomp, basically?
No, I'm guessing that as like Liverpool managers.
As Liverpool manager.
Benitez won the Champions League at Liverpool. Of course he can't say
Yeah,
it.
but
I
he's
don't
finishing
think
like
Klopp's
8th.
there, man. Klopp's not there, and plus Rafa Benitez is not conceding that many goals.
They're not attacking like this either, though, are they?
But yeah, whose team would you rather watch? I'd rather watch a Klopp team every day of the week.
Obviously, you know you're going to get tons of goals, and you don't really care for Liverpool.
But
so
even with Newcastle,
even with Newcastle, lose the game.
Even with Newcastle, Benitez has started well.
Exactly. So I think Benitez is a better manager. I think Klopp, his team are more attacking, yeah. But for me, I don't really give a shit. I want to win the game. So I'd rather have balance in my team rather than going gung ho and looking like a slag. Teams running through my midfield. I'm not on it. So yeah. Shout out to Klopp in it.
Okay. I have got a few more actually about Klopp. Someone asked like something like, isn't he just like an exotic teacher or something like that?
Oh, you lot. Look, I think everyone's kind of looking at Klopp now like,
The mist is faded.
Does he deserve to be put in the top the top tier?
Because, yeah, exactly, because these results are happening like week after week now, and
it's very frequent. So I get why people are asking the question, because even me, I find myself asking that question now as well. Because
before it wasn't a Klopp team, now he's had the opportunity to address this in the window, buy good defenders.
Yeah,
he didn't have the personnel before. Now he's had several opportunities, but I know Ellis was saying, he's only had 3 windows. Now he's had like 5 windows.
Not 5 windows, to be fair. Yeah,
you know what I mean. So.
Well, yeah, it is looking a bit damning on him, to be fair. I mean,
what is he supposed to have achieved that he hasn't achieved?
It's not about achievement. It's about the team itself, progressing the team further. And I'm not quite sure if he has. I mean, on the attacking front, Liverpool always attacked before he came, and maybe not to this this style. Maybe not this style, but. You know, they always attacked. Their problem was always the defense and the balance between attacking and defending. Since Benitez has left, it's always been that case. That's always been the problem. You know, so
he's won a cup, right? He's won a cup at Liverpool.
Has he?
Did he, or did he get to a final?
No, that was Brenda.
Oh, okay, cool.
Klopp's got that record where he just loses in finals, isn't it?
Yeah, that was Brenda. No, it wasn't Brenda. It was Thingy.
Dalglish.
What's his face? Dalglish, that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so...
But Burnley are ahead of Liverpool as well.
Sorry?
Yeah, I know. Good result for Liverpool.
To be honest, like, Liverpool... Klopp has been a disappointment to me. Like,
yes.
He has, because I really expected him to be, you know, because the way everyone's spoken about him, even me, I thought he would be a top guy, but...
Do you know what it is?
Back to deceive for me.
Do you know what it is? It's because don't forget, when Dortmund were winning, Bayern Munich had so much more money than the rest of the German league. So the whole kind of pitch was, this guy can compete without all the money. You don't need that much money, and he can like compete, take you to the top of the league.
Yeah.
So obviously Liverpool have got money like relative to like to the rest of the team. I think they've outspent most teams as well.
Yeah, they have.
Liverpool something like 30 million, no?
Yeah, what was that? Their net spend?
Yeah, something like 30 million. Pathetic amount.
I don't know.
34 million or something like that.
I'll find out.
I don't know if they. I don't know. I don't know about that actually.
But their outlay's been pretty huge. We've like been
over the Premier League, yeah. Over the Premier League season, I think they've got high spenders.
They've got something like the 7th most expensive assembled squad in Europe.
Yeah, and they're the 3rd most expensive. They're the 3rd.
Oh, they sold Sacco for 30 mil. Yeah, their net spend was 47.
That's probably
89. Take away 47.
Yeah, 30. Yeah,
42 million euros.
But that's like this season. But I'm talking about over the time that Klopp's been here. Like,
yeah,
but their net spend since he's been here is proper low as well. It's proper low as well.
Really?
Cool, but at the same time, he's brought in players that he's wanted, and he's got rid of players. So what I'm just trying to say is that so he's had the money to bring in players, and the whole pitch was with Klopp is that he could compete with this Dortmund team, like he could beat this Bayern Munich team that has so much money. So I think people were kind of expecting Liverpool to be title contenders under Klopp. That's kind of what I got from Klopp coming in.
And even Klopp kind of said it himself, like he considered himself,
Yeah.
considered Liverpool to be title contenders. So,
and he was talking big man talk last season when there was
massive. He was trying to put pressure on Conte. He was trying his hardest. Nah, man. So
he spent 85 million last year, and he spent 1 second, let me get the figure for this year. He spent 47 million this year.
But then you're not added on the.
He spent 89 million this year. Sorry, I'm getting the math wrong. 89 million this year and 80 million last year.
But is that added on the?
69. So what's he got rid of?
Naby.
Oh yeah, but he hasn't. He's got rid of players like Benteke and Ibe and Joe Allen.
He got rid of Sarko as well, isn't it?
Yeah. So he hasn't like.
But these are players
selling squad players, really.
Exactly.
So black guys, even Conte.
He hasn't lost any key players yet.
Exactly. So I'm not really hearing the net spend kind of stuff, especially if it's not key guys.
Yeah, because he's not buying to replace sort of thing. Well, he kind of is, but
he is, because Liverpool pretend that they've got money, but Liverpool board made it very clear that they've got a transfer ethos, isn't it? Buy young, sell high. Like that's what.
But who is? Because don't forget they kept Coutinho this summer, so it's not just the sell.
Yeah, that's kind of blown in the window. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So and what Mies was saying is that they haven't sold anyone that they cherished yet.
Wanted to keep.
No, they haven't.
Yeah. So I don't think there's much protecting Klopp right now.
Yeah.
What was? See, for me, I like Klopp. I like the way his teams play. I don't believe he's as great as he was led to believe he is, but whatever, innit? But what would be a good, because to me, the Premier League now, I think you're going to see a breakaway in it. Like, I've been saying it for a little while, but I think the two Manchester clubs and Chelsea, I think they're going to be in a 3-team league of their own. And then you've got Arsenal, Liverpool and Spurs in another 3-team league, just battling for that fourth go. So I don't know what people expect Klopp to do.
I don't think the gap is that substantial. I don't see why Liverpool can't mount a title challenge.
Man, I think it will. I think they've got superior managers, superior resources, superior players.
They have superior resources and they have maybe better managers, but
when we look at Spurs,
both. Well, United definitely have their weaknesses.
Yeah, I look at Spurs as the example last season. Again, this is the same kind of rhetoric that was said at the beginning of last season, as in United and City would leave everyone. And then what happened with Spurs, who don't spend that much money, they was able to kind of break that monopoly or duopoly or whatever. And I think this is what we expected from Liverpool, like Klopp to do at Liverpool, what kind of Pochettino's doing at Spurs.
Agreed.
The exact same thing. He finished got in the Champions League. There's no greater achievement.
Nah, but Pochettino's teams are actually mounting a title challenge.
Yeah.
Challenge back foot. Where was the challenge?
Oh, at least Mount
they
making
were, man.
No, they put the pressure on.
They put pressure on.
You can't take that away from them. You can't take that away from them.
They got the pressure trophy. Let's keep it real. They kept whereas Liverpool were like Arsenal in the Champions League, just participants.
Yeah, it's true.
Liverpool put the pressure on first half of the season.
They did.
Fell off.
Then they did what typical Liverpool do. They fall off.
Then Mane got injured.
Yeah. And then
Mane was
African Cup.
Maybe that's something that's starting to, because when he was at AFCON last year, they weren't winning many games, were they? So,
and don't forget, he didn't play the last game, the Burnley game as well.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So maybe there's like a bit of a trend there. Like
Super Mane.
Is Mane up for 3 games?
Yeah.
Yeah, so 2 more.
So who has Liverpool got next?
Liverpool actually don't have I don't think they've got a tough fixture, but we shouldn't even be thinking about tough fixtures. Every lower league opposition is a tough fixture for Liverpool.
They've got Leicester away.
The thing is, in big games,
they could definitely drop points there. Leicester away.
The reason why Liverpool are so good in the big games is because other teams believe that they can outplay Liverpool, and Liverpool have the space to just crush you on a counter attack, on a counter press. Against the smaller sides are like, okay, come through. Like we'll sit back and we'll play. And we'll play for set pieces.
The area, there's no space in behind.
Exactly. Yeah. So we'll play for set pieces. We'll play for a couple moments. We'll stay solid, play for a couple moments, and smack you in the face. But that's what always happens to Liverpool.
What I would say though, is that they have made significant. I think right now with Mane and Salah, they've got 2 players that I think Mane can kind of cut in, even if with a defensive block, he can kind of cut in and beast through the defense. Yeah. And I think that just having 2 wide players kind of stretches the team. So they've got that as well. Coutinho came back because Mane was injured. Coutinho came back in, and you can kind of see his kind of try to worm his way back into Liverpool hearts. I think he released it. Yeah, he released a statement saying, you know, I wanted to go to Barca, but I'm going to give 100% commitment. So Coutinho's back in the... Huh?
That's nice of him.
Yeah. So, but what I'm saying is that now Coutinho's back in the fold. Again, Liverpool do have strong options. So I think they'll be all right. But my major thing is...
What's all right, though?
Yeah, because I'm not writing them off the title.
But that's the thing. They don't really have that. They don't have that pressure. If they don't win the title, no one expects them.
They should, though, no?
Nah. Because like Ant said, everyone else, the rationale is Chelsea, United, City, they're just stronger. You could just look and you think they're stronger. But but then you can counteract that argument. Like, if Spurs can challenge, then why can't Liverpool?
Yeah, that's my main thing.
That's my thing. And
go on, go on.
No, I just think it's just bullshit. I think the Klopp is, for me, is a similar level manager as Pochettino, but Pochettino, for me, he's fulfilling his promise more.
Pochettino gets bare ratings for nothing. He ain't done
Yeah, I mean,
I think for me that's just
looking at watch this season. You're gonna find that he hasn't achieved anything.
No, you know what it is.
That's the rival in you, man. That's the rival.
No, I kind of understand where Ant's coming from, and I think looking at Conte last season, do you know, like after the switch and everyone fell into their pieces, like yeah. So I think that Pochettino has that with Spurs. He's found a formation where it kind of works. So I think people are giving a lot of credit to Poch, but I think it's just right now he's got a great system with great players in it.
Do you know it's kind of crazy? Yeah, like Spurs have had 3 home league games this season. They haven't won one, so they drawn 2, lost 1.
Yeah,
they've already got a worse home record
than last season. They've already dropped more points.
Yeah, they've already dropped more points than they did last season at home. And
that move was never going to work for them. It was insanity.
Yeah,
and it could
have much choice, but
yeah, it could be extended by another year as well.
This season, because they're fucked now.
But I mean, they got their win against Dortmund in midweek, where I didn't see the game, but
they were impressive. No, whoa. They were impressive. Yeah, they're impressive. Whilst that offside shouldn't have happened, but let's keep it real. Spurs were impressive, and Dortmund again. It's like every one of their managers just don't like defending. It's sickening. Like if you saw how high their line was, embarrassing. Like Spurs could have picked them up for 4s and 5s. It was embarrassing, ridiculous stuff. But
is that maybe the reason why they did do well against Dortmund though? Like
yes, that high line. Yes,
yeah. And obviously today against Swansea, I didn't.
They drew again.
Yeah, they drew 0-0
yesterday.
Oh really?
Wow.
I didn't
watch that game. I didn't watch that game at all.
Yeah, I didn't see it, but
wow. I'm shocked.
But you know what? No, they were unlucky. It's just one of those ones where you pump, but it just doesn't go in. It wasn't like they were bad.
Yeah, that's not a common theme with Spurs. To be fair, last season they were winning the majority of those games. Like at home, they absolutely spanked everyone.
I think it's just it's a Wembley thing.
But why though?
It's the beginning of the season. It's the beginning. They're almost away. Like they're away now because
they're playing 19 away games this season.
Yeah. So like 38, isn't it? So like, but I think.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't want to. But
we're just gonna pay for that
away games. Yeah.
But maybe towards the middle of the season, towards the end, they'll become more acclimatized to it. Yeah.
But by then it might already be too late.
Yeah, but maybe that's just the sacrificial lamb that they need to.
I think who was saying it earlier this season? I think it might have been Ant actually saying that it will click into gear, but it'll probably be too late for them to actually.
I think it was Ant.
Do anything with it.
If Spurs were to drop out of the top 4 this season, how damaging would that be for Spurs? Like because I'm more thinking of for their players, number one, because we know Harry Kane is going to be well sought after. Dele Alli is going to be well sought after. Alderweireld has already voiced his concern. So has Danny Rose. Could it be for Spurs if they were to finish out the top 4?
You see,
if they start losing players.
Nah, I think this is an optimistic Arsenal fan speaking.
Right, okay.
I don't think it's going to be that. I think that's what people were saying in the summer as well. But I think the players voicing their concerns aren't necessarily voicing their concerns about, Spurs are not competing, blah, blah, blah.
Danny Rose did.
No. They're voicing their concerns about being paid. That's it. It's not about the competitiveness. It's more about them not getting their just dues. They believe that.
No. Danny Rose definitely said something.
He may have just not wanted to dress it up as I want more
money. You can't come out and say I want more money.
The way he was speaking, the way Demlot was speaking, definitely is more about money. I know what I'm worth. That's what Danny Rose was saying. I know what I'm worth. Speaking to a lot of the lads in England, in the England camp, I'm not getting paid nearly as much as they are. But it was all about the money.
And he was talking about
the same argument Arsenal fans had.
Yeah.
I mean, Arsenal players had a few years back.
Ashley Cole and stuff. But and Danny Rose was saying, I'm of a certain age now, and so this is going to probably be his last big contract. So I think it was more.
Is Danny Rose that old?
He's 28.
27, 28? Yeah.
I thought he was like 24.
No, man. He's 27. He's been around for a bit.
No,
But,
I think Rose is. Oh, he's 27.
I saw a report today, where it's like Dele Alli is about to sign a new 100K a week contract.
I don't know.
Well, that's Dele Alli scored like how many goals last season? Like 20, and he's still not on that kind of.
Yeah, but let's keep it real. Dele Alli's only 20 years old. Yeah. First big contract last season.
But Harry Kane's only on like 100K a week as well.
Yeah, but again, these men literally
they want to come up.
They're on a exactly.
There was one season where Kane signed like 3 new contracts in the space of 6 months.
Because Tottenham are on their job, mate.
They're on their job. Yeah.
Not like these Arsenal guys.
At the end of the day, Harry Kane was signing new contracts, but they were only getting he was only getting like 10K bumpers. Like it wasn't even a big deal. So just to signify his loyalty.
So you don't think it's going to be an issue if Spurs drop out of the top 4? You think their players will happily resign?
I think the players will understand, and I think the players will understand the situation, and I think the players will kind of look at it and think, well, getting a new stadium. By the time that new stadium is built, it will still be home because it is actually White Hart Lane, regardless. So
I could definitely see players like Vertonghen and Alderweireld leaving.
I don't see Vertonghen. Alderweireld possibly, but Alderweireld for me is more about money, not about Spurs' ambition. The difference between Spurs and Arsenal is that Arsenal, because we've been saying it for years, Arsenal have had the funds to spend, but they've been being too shrewd and not even. They've been just fucking.
They've been tight, bro.
Shit, they've been tight. That's it. So the thing is with Spurs, as you can see, Spurs spent 50 million on what's his name, Sanchez. They spent 23 on Aurier. They're spending money. It's just about the salaries, and if Spurs can get the salaries right, then I don't see any reason for them not to leave.
But Alderweireld, he's 28 years old. Don't he want to go and like win things? And
but that's exactly what I'm saying. Alderweireld for me, it's not about the competitiveness. It's about money, and he feels like I'm a top player. Yeah, pay me like I'm a top player, and it's fair. I don't think any Spurs fan should really have any complaints about these players wanting to leave if it's for the money, because at the end of the day, they've spent 3-4 years. Danny Rose 8 years of being on. Relatively, I don't want to say peanuts because it's sickening, but relative to what the rest of their comrades are getting paid, they're not getting paid near enough. I think Toby Alderweireld's on like 50 something K, and Ruben Loftus-Cheek's on 65. So it doesn't make sense for me as a top player. It doesn't make sense. So I can understand why he's looking around and thinking, well, I might not sign this new deal if it's not good enough.
Yeah.
Also, I don't think Spurs will drop out the top 4. Well, I don't think they'll drastically drop. I think they've still got a good team, and I think that they'll have a good season.
Yeah, I think so too. I think it's touch and go. I don't see who else is going to be in the top 4 then. I could other than
it can be like with the Premier League, you can't predict anyway. So someone might drop out, but I don't think that Spurs. I know this whole Wembley thing, they're dropping points, but I think that Aurier is a good signing. He looks like he'll provide sick whip for them. Danny Rose, when he comes back, I think they've still got a good team that will be able to beat most teams. I mean, when Chelsea played them, they put us under immense pressure.
Proper. So I agree. I'm with you on that. Then.
Okay. All right, let's move on to some listeners' questions because we've got quite a wide variety of questions to get through. Sticking with Premier League, Betsinho asks, title favourites, United or City?
Okay, everyone say their own piece on this, because
I mean,
I'm still not.
I'd say United. I think City. Where I think City are going to fall apart is I think when it gets a bit cold and Aguero. Honestly, I think they're going to struggle in the winter, and I think United with Jose, I think they'll just grind out more results when it gets a bit tough than City will. That's why I think United. I would much prefer it to be City because I want Pep to win to shut up certain people. But I just think United will have a bit more about them in the ugly games and the ugly part of the season.
Okay, for me, I don't actually see. It's funny. I'm probably going to go against the grain again, but I don't see United as real title guys. To be honest, I don't see them as it, because I've been watching their games, and whilst they've been relatively impressive, I've been looking at the opposition, and the opposition to me have been porous. Like
but most of the teams in the Prem are poor, bro.
Yeah, but that's fine. But when it comes to the bigger games, this is the thing with United. It comes to the bigger games, they get a knock-on effect after the big games. They always tend to have a knock-on effect into their smaller games, and it affects the way they play in their games afterwards. So I think what's going to happen when United come up against a big team, I think their first big game's against Liverpool, I believe.
Yeah, Liverpool in 3 weeks' time.
Yeah, so they play Liverpool in a couple of weeks. I think I want to stick my neck out and say they may lose that game or get outplayed and get a draw. That will affect their next game. And I think during that period as well, I think it's back-to-back big game for United. And I think that's where it will halt their title charge or their supposed title charge. Yeah. And I think that's where they'll come unstuck. And that's where I think Man City will pull away. Because I think that Man City are far more inclined to win the big games. Or if they don't win, they'll draw. And even if they lose, I think they'll kind of balance it out with wins and losses, if you get what I mean. I think they've already won against Liverpool. They play against Arsenal. I fancy them to beat Arsenal. Play against us. I fancy them to give us a game, beat us, or it'll be a tight kind of game. Against Tottenham, again, it's touch and go. They could win or lose. But I think you'll get 4 losses and 4 wins for City in the big games. So, whereas United, I'm not quite sure because I don't really trust them in the big games. I think they lost. Did they win a big game last season?
They drew and lost against Arsenal. They how did they get on against Spurs?
They beat us.
Didn't they, when Herrera marked Hazard?
Yeah, they beat us at Old Trafford. I think that was it.
They beat Spurs as well.
Oh yeah, they did 1-0. They beat Spurs 1-0.
Oh, that was the opening game, wasn't it, where Kyle Walker scored that?
No. They beat mid-season.
The season before.
Yeah, mid-season. This was in United's unbeaten run, like the false unbeaten run. I remember. So okay, they won 2 big games and they lost the rest.
Didn't they beat City as well?
Nah, they didn't.
Oh, yeah.
Nah, I think they beat City in was it the FA Cup?
All right, yeah. So they won 2, they drew 2.
Was it the FA Cup? I don't think they beat them.
Drew 3. Did Spurs beat them or did they draw with Spurs at home?
Spurs beat them at home. Spurs spanked them at home.
And what about
wasn't it?
We smashed them 4-0 at home and we lost them. Yeah.
So they lost 3, drew 3 and lost 2. And won 2, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why I feel like they may come unstuck. That's my opinion. I think Man City are the clear favourites. I think Chelsea are dark horses. I don't want to say Spurs because they always flatter to deceive in terms of mountain proper title runs. That's it really. It is like what Ant said. It's kind of a 3-horse kind of thing now. Yeah.
What about Dan and Kane? Do you echo the same thoughts?
My take on it is that this is what people are just kind of like stretching out their legs. So it depends on how they kind of respond to knocks. And this is what Mees was talking about in terms of Man United against Liverpool. How did they respond? So the way that City are now, they look unstoppable. But when it comes to a bit of a sticky part of the season, we'll see. Because like last season, they just fell apart. And then it wasn't even just big games. Against small games, they were losing too. They do look phenomenal, especially with Aguero and Jesus. But we know that Aguero's injury prone. What happens when Aguero gets an injury?
Yeah.
Jesus has to start doing the work by himself.
Yeah. So I don't know. People are saying United and City. I'm saying this is what we're September. We're September, so I don't know. I won't get carried away.
People were saying that Man City already had the title sewn up.
Yeah, but what I do say, right now, Man City look phenomenal. Man City look phenomenal. They look. Gundogan come back to. De Bruyne is playing well. Jesus is getting goals. Aguero is getting goals. Then they've got Sane to come in. Sterling's looking good. So the team that, and obviously the wing backs, Walker and Mendy. They look really good right now. So they look far and away the best team at this moment.
Okay.
My whole thing is it's too early to call it. I've got my process, which is usually it takes about 10 games in the league to judge. Generally speaking, I think the difference between City this year and last year is they got fullbacks that can actually attack. I think Sane has come along as a person that you can semi-rely on for goals. I think he's more of a goal threat than I gave him credit for when I first saw him. But like Dan says, we're unsure about Aguero's fitness during the season. And there's a likelihood they will get injured at some point. How long for, we don't know. And we don't know if Jesus is at the level yet we can carry a team. Similarly with Man United, we'll see how well they do without Pogba. I've heard things from he's going to be out for 3 to 4 weeks to 3 months. And it'll be a very different proposition if he's out for that long. I think it's early. And it's the same thing even with Chelsea. People wrote of Chelsea in the first few games. And then he made a switch, and all of a sudden, they're going on, record-breaking winning runs. Yeah, it's too early.
So, quickly about Chelsea's title kind of thing. It really depends on Conte if he decides to. It's a puzzle piece thing. So last season, we had all the puzzle pieces, and he found it there. This season, there's a question because Costa's not there. Is Morata that piece that can be the goal scorer? Will he drop Cahill? Conte has to make these decisions, and if he does, then maybe Chelsea can challenge. But I do think that we're still trying to figure out what we are.
Is the midfield a puzzle to solve as well?
Not for me.
It's not for us, but it is for Conte, because I think what Reeds is going to say is it should just be Kante and Baka.
No, not even. So for me, how I see it, it's not even a drop Cesc situation. Like, I feel that Cesc should be part of the midfield three. Generally speaking, at home, okay. So for me, at home against a smaller size, you can get away with a Cesc and Baka or Cesc and Kante. You can do that because more time you're getting the ball and the team's hardly going to get out of their half. So you need someone to pick those passes. Cool. But for me personally, in the bigger games, we will be facing very soon. We're playing Atletico Madrid in the Champions League in 2 weeks. Yeah. I'm playing Bakayoko, I'm playing Kante, and I'm playing Cesc in the withdrawn forward role. Yeah, but again, at that position, Cesc is able to roam. He doesn't have the defensive responsibilities that are placed upon him when he's sitting in the 2. Yeah, and then you have Hazard in behind with Morata. Because for me, that's the only option. It doesn't make any sense to play Cesc and Kante especially in a team against a team like Arsenal. For me, I think today he got it all wrong, like with that selection. And I feel like that, hopefully, with this game, at least it didn't cost us in terms of a loss. We probably should have lost on the chances created. But if we're looking at least we didn't lose the game, but I'm hoping that Conte looks at that game and thinks, okay, in the bigger games against teams that can play well with the ball, we can't really get away with this. So you saw second half straight away. Baka came in Arsenal's half. I think the possession stats in the second half
went up, and we weren't conceding as many shots as well.
Arsenal didn't have one shot in the second half.
The only thing I'll say about Cesc playing there though is that we do lose with those two, like with Willian or Hazard or Pedro and Hazard. The fact that there's two pacey players, with Cesc, we lose that. So this is why Cesc is kind of a difficult fit. I understand that he's again he breaks down teams. He will find those passes, but again, we've got a lot of these players that they provide this, but they don't provide that. They provide this.
You don't have to complete. But here's my thing, and this is what I think that hopefully Conte notices as well, because apparently it was noted that when Hazard came on, Cesc slipped back into the quarterback role, and with that, you're allowed Kante and Bakayoko. They've got pace. They do have pace. They've got genuine pace, and they can move. So they can be backing up play.
But But we're talking about attackers. We're talking about the Champions League. If we're relying on Baka and Kante to be like attacking threats, again, this is what I'm trying to say. So
yeah, but
there's a lot of fiddling around in terms of, this is what I'm saying. So this is why City are right now, of course, bigger odds or whatever to win it than Chelsea. Chelsea have a lot of figuring around to find out the best combination. Morata, again, the problem with Morata, and Court says we have two backup dancers. It's true because at this point, look, like Morata, like you want your striker to command their position. Now it's kind of, if we're playing a Carling Cup game, if Batshuayi scores another 2 goals, the question between Morata and Batshuayi is going to come up again.
Yeah,
and then that causes issues because none of our players, if we keep on swapping, none of our players will get momentum. So Morata has to. Yeah, so this is what I'm saying. Chelsea's got a lot of little issues that can magnify throughout the season.
But this is one thing that I've been calling out for both Morata and Batshuayi to play together. Like anyway, so
yeah,
if this results in Batshuayi and Morata playing together, then I'm happy at the end of the day. And then that's when I'll start fooling around with Cespedes being dropped and I put in Hazard in behind those two. Like that's when
can you see what I'm saying though? It does seem like there's certain players. It seems like there's certain players, Baka and Kante. I think Baka, Kante, Hazard. Forget about the defense and all the wing backs and all that. But in terms of it seems like Baka, Kante, and Hazard are cool. But when it comes down to Willian, Pedro, Mishi, Morata, Charlie, all of these players, they're all like, yeah. So we don't have that many kind of cogs. We talked about Spurs earlier. They know Kane's going to start. They know Ali's going to start. They know Eriksen. They've got loads of cogs in. With City, they've got loads of cogs kind of fixed in. With Chelsea, it's still a lot of moving pieces.
Yeah, but the moving pieces for me are supplementary more than anything. I don't think that.
I've got another question about Chelsea. Mano_ON08. He asked, I was listening to another podcast and the debate was about who is a better player between Hazard and Willian.
Oh my!
I think there's so many levels of so we need to address a few things. Right, number one, why are you listening to a football podcast that is comparing Hazard and Willian?
Oh my God! Wow! I am so angry at that question. I'm so.
He does go on to kind of explain himself. Basically, he says,
I'm going to go on the Touchline Fracas account and I'm going to block this individual. I'm disgusted.
We're all inclusive.
Let's hear him out.
Basically, he goes on to say, when the chips are down, who gives more for your team? Both sides of the game, defensive and going forward.
Oh my fucking.
And when I mean overall for your team, does their contribution for one part of their game make up for not being as good as effective for the other?
Listen, I'm gonna rant. Willian cannot pass the ball longer than 5 yards. Yeah, Willian gives the ball away more than anyone else in our team. Yet people are trying to compare him to Hazard just because he runs around a lot. I'm getting fucking angry. Willian.
Wait.
No. I need to say.
Okay, say it.
Willian, out of all of our attackers, productively is the weakest by a long way. A long way. So when you talk about what he gives going forward, he gives energy going forward, but who gives a fuck? Energy. He is not
so the last couple of games, you can't deny that, he's been good for us. In terms of where Hazard's not been in terms of about providing that spark, just, like beating players, like he'll get the ball and he'll do a little turn, he'll do a little flick.
For me, for a player of his talent level, he's performed to where he should be performing. But generally speaking, that doesn't happen over the course of the season. He does it about 3-4 times a season, and that's it. I'm not having that. For a player of his ability, he does not produce anywhere near what he should do.
But we know there's been times where the whole team's been playing shit and Willian's been the only kind of like shining light.
Oh my God. So we're going to reference that 2015-16 season where he's
But what I'm saying, there's been times.
Are we doing this? Where
I'm saying there's been times.
Top corners.
It's the same time when Hazard wasn't performing, Willian was performing.
Willian was not performing. He was over-hitting free kicks into top corners.
Was he not our best player at that point?
And saving us from finishing 10th. We finished 10th that season.
Yeah, but not due to Willian, due to the other players.
let's keep it real. Let's keep it real. So, in Willian's so-called best ever season for Chelsea, we finished 10th.
Right, 10th. But you can't blame Willian for that.
No. Let's keep it real. 10th.
Yeah, I'm keeping it real. I'm keeping 100. What I'm saying is,
Hazard, without Hazard, Chelsea look a completely different proposition. So that isn't even just
Hazard and Willian are incomparable. Let's be real though.
Bruv, I'm so angry.
Yeah, I'm kind of like in sort of like, why is it even a debate? I don't understand why.
No, do you know what?
I don't even know what to say. Wow.
I don't understand. I want to know what the podcast is. I want to go and listen to that podcast because.
But you know what? In training, like the Chelsea players that will tell you in training, Hazard and Willian are both the players apparently that carry the ball most. Like it's the most difficult to get the ball off of. But obviously, Hazard's undoubtedly our number one talent.
That's fine, but I look at Charlie Musonda in training, and he's dribbling past guys and making Rooney go spin a Rooney as well. I don't give a shit though. They're not playing. He's not playing. So it makes no difference about training for me. I'm looking at Willian.
I'm just feeding back what the players are saying. Don't get angry at me.
I'm looking at Willian on the pitch, and you cannot tell me that this guy is a productive guy. One, you cannot tell me that he's anywhere near.
He's not productive. But what I would say is that he does provide something different to Pedro provides. I think the thing is Hazard provides what Willian provides, which kind of makes him redundant, which is why I prefer Hazard and Pedro to start. But when Hazard's not there, Willian provides that kind of spark, that kind of quick.
This is the thing for me. I do not give a flying fuck about Willian starting. I don't give a. He shouldn't be starting. He is a sub player. He is a backup player. That is what he should be. If he plays that role, I'm comfortable with it. But him starting is a problem for me. That's what I'm saying.
I get that. And I get that.
Let's not make this the Chelsea FC podcast, yeah?
I'm sorry.
We've had about half an hour on Chelsea.
You asked the question.
You've overstayed your welcome.
You asked the question.
Yeah, but I know, but
you're supposed to be.
I know, but I was kind of hoping that would go down a different. I wasn't expecting you guys to actually debate.
Don't ask the question.
Nah, it's too late.
You're supposed to be regulated.
You can't ask questions about the goal.
I'm trying to regulate.
Wow.
Kane left after he heard us talking.
All right, okay. With Vieino, he asked, what tier do you rate strikers like Icardi, Morata, Lukaku, Belotti, and Werner?
Ooh. In terms of potential or what they currently are?
I guess it's up to you to have free reign on how you address that question.
So Belotti, how's he faring on? Like, how's he getting on this season?
I can check.
If he continues his form, then I'd probably say you can put him in potentially category 2.
He's got 4 goals in 5 games, or 2 and 4 in the league.
Okay, so I'll probably say that you put him in the. I want to say like in the Cavani kind of league.
Really, that good?
Yeah, I would.
I've got. I don't know about that.
I wouldn't put Cavani in the same league as Lewandowski and Suarez.
No, because they're tier 1. Cavani's tier 2 for me. I would say I haven't seen enough of Belotti, but I ain't saying.
I'd put Belotti in that category. I'd put Belotti in that category
too.
Huh? Yeah. Potentially, yeah. Not currently. Obviously, they've still got. Good? They've all got stuff to prove. Werner's got a lot to prove. Morata's got a lot to prove. Belotti's got a lot to prove. All these guys have got a lot to prove for me.
I've never heard of this Werner guy. How old is he?
Lukaku's got less to prove.
I'd put Lukaku in tier 2 on the basis that he bangs goals consistently. Like he bangs goals. Same way I'd put Harry Kane tier 2. Bangs goal consistently. The other guys have a lot to prove. Huh?
Harry Kane's not tier 1.
Why is he not tier 1?
No, Harry Kane's not tier 1 for me. Harry Kane's not tier 1 for me. Because
why not the Suarez and Lewandowski? That's why.
No, because tier 1 for me is players that do everything. They're good at everything, but they've got 1 or 2 things that they are exceptionally good at. Harry Kane is not exceptionally good at anything, in my opinion. Like he's not exceptionally
scoring goals.
Huh?
He's exceptionally good at scoring goals.
Well, he scores goals, but he's not exceptionally good as Suarez and Lewandowski. He's not like that.
Yeah, for me, but I'm just saying he is exceptionally good at scoring goals.
Yeah, no, I'm saying, but what I'm saying is like Lewandowski, for example, in the air he is exceptional. Like that's what I'm trying to say. He doesn't have an exceptional. He doesn't have a. What's the
standout quality?
He doesn't have a stat exactly. He doesn't have a standout quality that makes.
When you say his finishing is a standout quality, though.
No,
Yeah,
but then
so-
I'm comparing them.
It's like if you were to just say finishing across names across Europe, like strikers across Europe.
Yeah, I'm looking at
I'll give it one player.
I'm looking at Lewandowski.
Do you think Suarez is a better finisher than Lewandowski?
No, I'm saying I'm looking at them two.
Oh,
I'm looking at them two, and I'm looking at Kane, and I'm thinking, no, Harry Kane's not at that level.
Yeah, nowhere near.
That's it. So that's why I can't say he's a tier 1.
Yeah, he can't be a tier 1.
And tier 2 doesn't mean you're a shit player. Nowhere near.
But so let me ask you this question. So if Harry Kane, because last season I think he was out for like 8 games or whatever, and he still got 30 goals. So let's say that Kane bangs 33, 34 goals, or like just over 30 goals. Does it mean he's still tier 2 because he hasn't got the all-round play?
For me, nothing will change. Nothing will take him into that tier 1 category unless a certain facet of his game becomes exceptional. That's what it is for me. It's not just the goals. Because I look at Lukaku. Lukaku's the goals as well. Lukaku gets those goals as well. But Lukaku doesn't have that exceptional quality either. So
but don't forget, Lukaku's just getting the goals, so it's rising up. He hasn't been scoring 30 goals for the last what's name.
Yeah, exactly. But you get
Lukaku's been scoring goals for as long as Kane has, for longer, in actual fact.
No. But what I'm saying is that every single season he's been scoring a little bit more. So he hasn't really. Both Kane and Lukaku are getting to that era now where if they're scoring 30 goals per season, they'll probably be considered elite strikers.
Yeah, but not enough to be tier 1 for me anyway. Cool. No, as long as Suarez and Lewandowski are around.
Yeah, because
though, that's the difference.
Are you not considering Cavani an elite striker? I think
he probably is.
I don't think he's the top level. I don't think he's the top.
For me, don't forget when Falcao was scoring banging 33 goals at Atletico Madrid, he was considered a tier 1 striker, and all he was doing was scoring goals.
Yeah, exactly.
So
I don't think he was tier 1.
Who's better though, Falcao or Kane?
Atletico Falcao.
Yeah.
Well, I'm taking Falcao. I can't lie.
But what was he doing there? Just scoring goals, right? This is
no.
Falcao
was doing bits against every team. Every team. I'll never forget that hat trick against us. I will never.
There were goals though, right? It wasn't like he was doing shit outside the box or shit like that.
Bruh, what do you mean? What? No. He dubbed Cahill. He finished Lampard.
Maybe I can't remember.
No, I'm not having that. Left foot. Nah. No. Falcao was a problem. Falcao was a problem. Nah, that hat trick. Oh, nightmares. But no. Falcao is the guy. Let's keep it real.
Sticking with strikers. Ken P4CH1. He says he has seen Jesus Chicharito shouts building on this platform. Thoughts on that and what separates them? Are they similar? Are they similar players?
No, you're doing Jesus a massive disservice.
No,
is it because they're just short and South American?
Yeah, because Jesus is a poacher, but he's got so much more, man. So much. Yeah, man. I think he's got way more than
a bit more sauce than Hernandez.
Yeah, and it's like he can create.
I get the comparison because they're both short, like, and they seem to be like
they're fox in the box. But the thing is, I think Jesus is a bit of a hybrid kind of forward. Like he's not just a fox in the box. Like
just because he's a fox in the box doesn't mean that's all he is.
Exactly. I think people love doing that. They see one quality and they go, "Oh yeah, he looks like." No. He's got a lot more.
Yeah, people like Lewis. People try to call him a tapping merchant. Yeah, he scores tapping
merchant, man. I don't see this like this, this exciting talent that you guys see.
I think he's quality, mate.
Yeah, so to be fair, his stats.
To be fair, I haven't seen enough of him to really like
But he's got a bit of the magic. It's not like he always forces it out. He's not always trying to do step overs and shit. But he's got a bit of the magic. He's good on the ball. He's got pace on the ball. He's got trickery on the ball. He's got that awareness as well of people around him.
Yeah.
He shouldn't be compared to like Mbappe and them like that.
No, I think
I don't know. So here's my thing. This is what I was talking about with Kane. I just think that if goals can take you a long way in football, and so if Jesus can carry on scoring so many goals, that will put him at the top.
Yeah, but I don't think that's the thing. I don't see him as tier 1. I will see him as a tier below. Oh, actually, no, I see the top end of that tier. You get what I'm trying to say? So I'm looking at Werner, Morata, them guys. I think they're like the bottom end of tier 2. And I've got Jesus probably like mid to top end of tier 2 potential strikers.
Really? You
But then
think,
I've
wait, you
got
think Jesus is
Mbappe.
better than Morata?
Yeah, potentially. Yeah, potentially. And I'm looking at Mbappe tier 1, otherworldly type, because he's got exceptional quality.
Well, people were saying not long ago last season that Mbappe was a tapping merchant, and then he doesn't have much.
That was crazy.
No, that was just Fred.
That was crazy talk because Mbappe was
that was Anton / Fred.
Yeah, I think when was it? Who did Mbappe score in the Champions League again? I think was it Juve?
Dortmund, maybe.
Or Dortmund, top corner, just finessed it, top bins.
Yeah,
I think that's when Fred.
Roofs his tap-ins. I'll give him that.
Yeah, that's when Fred kind of took note.
Okay. he said he roofs his tap-ins. He'll give him that.
Okay, I've got another question from Joey Depth. He asks, what happened to the KDB agenda?
Oh my God, I was disgusted. Me and Daniel were like, nah, this can't happen. Because
Wait, do any of us have a KDB agenda?
Oh,
someone tried to raise one.
Tried it.
I failed attempt.
Tried the Aguero one.
Yeah.
Hey, listen.
The only thing I would say about KDB, yeah, he is definitely just a ginger David Beckham, man.
Wow. Okay. Do you know what it is? Yeah, I think people are trying to get onto KDB
because of Pogba,
trying to draw comparisons to Özil, yeah, and I think that's a super insult because even when KDB is shit, man is always showing for the ball. You know, he's always trying to work and find space and show for the ball. Whereas Özil, he is a massive hider.
This is what I was saying earlier.
Comparing is crazy. Comparing is crazy. Like, for example, we're watching the Arsenal game today, and everyone in the chat was like, "Oh,
fam, I will be ready in it. You weren't here in it. We're not doing match."
No, I want to hear what he wants to say. Say it, man.
Everyone's like, "Wow, Iwobi, wow, he's finding space, you know."
Iwobi.
And then everyone asks the question, "But Özil do this
like an iPhone?"
Bro, I'm sorry.
Yeah, there's no excuse for Özil. There's no excuse.
There's none. People are like, "Oh, he doesn't get." People, look, Dissu was saying it the other week. I think he was like, he was kind of repeating what Akan was saying. Oh, Özil doesn't get quality possession to hurt defenders. Bruv, you find space. Silva's the master of finding space. Even Iwobi today was finding space in pockets. And I'm not hearing this excuse for Özil anymore. It's bullshit.
No, same. It's the Özil sympathy group that
I'm sick of
it. We had two of them on the pod last week.
He doesn't get high quality possession. What do you expect him to do?
Sean and Leroy.
Founders of the Özil sympathy group.
It's crazy.
You know, the players are not good enough to find him. They're not good enough to find him.
Bruv, how is Iwobi
found Iwobi well enough today?
The same two midfielders. The same.
Yeah, we didn't have a shot on target.
Yeah, but Iwobi
was
creating chances, was he not?
Yeah, we were creating chances, mate. So, you know.
And back to KDB, because that was the original question.
Yeah, sorry.
I think as well, because he plays in a lot of different positions. So, like, Guardiola will bring him back as well. So, a lot of people talk about stats about assists and goals. Like, sometimes he withdraws them and he plays deeper too. So, it's not that he's gone deeper, but he's just doing a more disciplined role. Yeah,
agreed.
Agreed. Okay, let me find another question. Yanazai says, reckon Ashley Young and Marcelo on the same level. Yeah.
True.
Like Hazard William type shit.
Yeah, bullshit. Nasty.
Stefelda says, Bashoni, the multilingual Cahill. Thoughts?
Ooh, that's a bit much.
I've got a feeling people are not taking us seriously as a footballing.
It's a bit much, but at the same time, Koscielny
he was excellent today.
He's been good today. He was good today. Credit where it's due, but he has been funny for a minute.
Yeah, 100%. He's finished. I've said this for a while now. He's finished.
Yeah.
That Achilles.
Wow, since when? You said it from like May, don't you?
What did I just say?
That's a while.
It's not a while, man.
That's a while. That's 4 months. I mean, 4 months is a long time.
We'll give Lewis that a little while still.
4 months is a very long time, and like if I sent you away somewhere for 4 months, yeah, that's a long time, right?
What?
That's like Pogba shit. He's out for 4 months, isn't it?
Listener.
Huh?
You sent me a what?
If I sent you away for 4 months, that's like quite a long time.
Oh yeah, fair enough. But yeah,
Yeah, no, fair play, Lou. We'll give you that. But yeah.
Right, 1 second. All right, we haven't touched on the Crystal Palace sitch. So Saturday, he asked Palace to go 0-8-0. What? Oh, 0. Is he American or something? I hate all that shit. 0-8-0. Palace to go 8 games in a row without win. 8 games in a row losing. Oh God.
Listen,
yeah. And 0 goals in the process. What do you guys think?
I think a lot of us we're kind of, I wouldn't say tribal or sympathetic of the brawl, but the handling of it from Palace is just embarrassing. So it's almost like the Leicester situation last season with Ranieri. Like a lot of our reaction tend to be, oh fuck it, they deserve to go down now. But in this case, it's just even worse for me. After 4 games, and you sold this dream to your fans, not only just your fans, but you sold it to the manager that, yeah, he's in for a project. He's in, to change the culture of the club, the style of football. The chairman's come out, said this to the press, and then gone and done that. That's bullshit. It's actually a joke. So
I haven't got to
pay the whole of his contract.
Was that?
Sorry?
You have to at least he should have to get the whole of his contract paid.
Yeah, pay, definitely.
Oh, yeah, you should do.
Definitely, because that's the biggest bullshit I've ever seen. Like,
yeah. I mean, I personally...
The media done a job on him as well, though. The media would have never behaved the way they were behaving if he was English.
Oh, definitely not. Definitely not. They're saying, they kept referring, is the style of play working? Like, is his style of play working?
One game,
they weren't even trying to play like Ajax. Like, come on.
Exactly. The funniest thing is, after the first half in their first game, where they were 3-0 down, they were down 3-0 because of defensive mistakes. It wasn't about the way they were playing. And then after that, he made changes, and Palace were a lot better in the second half. But no one referenced that. No one spoke about that. It's just it's crazy. And plus they've been mad unfortunate with injuries as well. They
only just signed Sacco as well, like on deadline day. He didn't get an opportunity to play Sacco.
Exactly.
Yeah, he had Zaha out, I think.
Zaha out from the first game.
Yeah.
One
thing I would say is I don't have too much of an issue with them sacking him, because the reason I say that is I think I read something in The Guardian, a report in The Guardian that basically said like several members of of senior players had come out and rebelled against him. They said basically this.
What senior players though?
Ward,
I think. Who's the centre back?
Damien Delaney. Who the fuck is he, bro?
Who are these guys?
It Damien Delaney?
What pisses me off? Yeah? What pisses me off? Yeah, these shit guys, and they're very shit. Yeah, they know that their places they're in problems. They know that Sarko's coming. Oh shit, I need to start tweaking because Sarko's coming in, and like this guy don't really fancy me anyway. Like fuck it, I need to. How are you? You're a shit player. Full stop.
It's true. Whilst I agree with that, but what do you do as the board when like they said
back your manager?
Names?
I'm sorry. Back the manager.
4 weeks ago. That's what you do.
But sorry.
You back the manager that you appointed 4 weeks ago. It's as simple as that.
It's simple.
If he's losing the squad, what do you do?
What
Hold on.
No.
Let's get this clear. What squad is he losing? I'm sorry.
The squad that the window's closed. The squad that he has to play for,
though, right?
He's not losing the squad. He's not losing the squad.
What Lewis is saying is that if there's a group of a big enough group of first-team players.
2 players, because
those were the ones that were named. Like I don't know if it was any more. We don't know that.
But if it's a strong enough group of first-team players, the window's closed. They have to stay up. They have to stay. No, what I'm saying is enough. I'm talking about strong in number rather than strong in players.
Right.
But if this is the first-team squad and the window's closed, this is the manager that has to win games. Like so, if the teams against him, then it makes sense to kind of get rid of him. Now,
I agree with Dan.
What
I agree with Dan.
What I'm saying is, whilst I get where you're coming from in that one, if you as the club have made it like your directive that you're going to follow this manager's way, yeah, you as the club have an almost like an obligation, yeah, to understand that his way will be the way we're going. And regardless of whether you shit players are going to complain or not, we're going with his way. He makes the decision as the manager. He makes the footballing decisions from the culture of the club, from the football inside. He is the guy. So I can't be having fucking.
There's in that same report though, they said Steve Parish was like really unconvinced by De Boer, like basically by his mannerisms and his behavior. So they would have like meetings about certain things, and they were not clicking, which is Palace's fault in the first place because they didn't do due diligence on him.
They didn't do their proper due diligence, but they
didn't do their proper due diligence. But when you're faced with the problem, what do you do?
Exactly. So if you realise that I've made a wrong mistake,
this for me. This further makes me feel that he should be compensated for wasting his fucking time.
Probably, yeah, I agree.
If you know that his mannerisms ain't right, blah blah blah. If you know this from the jump and you still hire Donny, and then fire him for the same mannerisms that you knew about, you are a fucking dickhead. Steve Parish has no leg to stand on.
We agree that there's been failure.
The fact that that obviously they were 6 months. When did they appoint De Boer? 3 or 4 months ago, right?
In the summer.
This long-term vision, right? When they got rid of Allardyce, they had this long-term vision, right? So now again, going to appoint
Allardyce left.
Allardyce left. So they appointed De Boer. They had this long-term vision. They wanted to do X, Y, Z. But then, okay, so they got rid of De Boer, right? So then they've gone to Hodgson. I don't really understand.
They chat shit. These clubs chat shit.
That makes sense, though. That makes sense because
why? Because they've gone from long-term to short-term within 3 months.
Yeah. So they can't start long-term again.
So it couldn't have been a long-term thing then.
No. What I'm saying is, it's like Chelsea. I understand what you're saying. They kind of committed to doing this expansive football. But what I'm saying is, during the season, don't forget, Hodgson's 70 years old. So I don't think Hodgson's the long-term manager. But what I think is, even though he's appointed as a manager, he must be a short-term appointment. So in the short term, you want someone that's going to keep it safe and secure because you can't.
It's only 4 games though, Dan.
No, what I'm saying is they've sacked him now, right? Sacked him now. So the manager that you're going to get, you can't. There's no way you're going to find like that right long-term manager right now.
The long-term manager right away.
Exactly. So hiring a Hodgson, who in the short term, he's 70 years old, so I don't think he's a long-term manager. But
until in the short, they identify their new manager.
Yeah, so that's why it would make more sense for that signing now.
No, you raise a fair point. To be fair,
fair play, fair.
It has been, but it has been handled really poorly by Palace.
Definitely, no
due diligence
about it.
To I feel sorry for De Boer because now it kind of looks like he had a rough time with it at Inter, but everyone kind of knows that Inter are a club that do these kind of things, so you get a blight for that. But now that it's happened at Palace, it's a real taint on his record for a guy who won like. How many titles at Ajax?
Ajax was home to him as well. So even though we talk about it being a taint on De Boer, perhaps it's just De Boer. So we'll have to see him again. One thing I will say about not so much in England, but in Europe, they give managers chances. It's not one of those things where you get burnt. So he'll probably get another job. But it might just be him.
Yeah. Okay, guys. Do you guys have any other questions to answer? I think we've gone through quite a lot of them, and we've done like a 2-hour pod, so I don't really want to go on too much.
That's fine. I think.
Yeah. All right. Cool. We'll leave it there. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you for your listeners' questions. Remember to get involved with the hashtag Touchline Fracas. Remember, it's your platform as well. So if you do want to come on the pod, we're happy to have you. Sorry about the sound quality. We normally are in the studio, but we decided to do this one over the internet. So hopefully it sounds cool. We will be back next week. Guys, thank you for joining me.
Cheers.
Have a good one.
Peace.
That's fine.
Cheers.
Bye.